Hello, friends, and welcome to Binge O'Clock, the podcast where we watch something and then we talk about it. I'm Joy Selden. I've seen almost everything.
I'm Danielle Ngaw, and I've seen almost nothing.
Hi, I'm Joel V. Friedman, and I have seen some stuff.
I feel like if Jill was a character in Gravity Falls, you'd be like a part of the time police.
Ooh,
And like
really?
Like a renegade time cop is just like, here, take some guns, defend yourself. You don't know what's coming, and then just disappear into the ether.
Joy, I need to know where this is coming from.
Hard save.
Like,
yes,
like
please.
this is not my vibe ever.
As if I could ever know.
Except that one Halloween. But no, that's actually not a joke.
Something?
So you know how Hillary and I were going to St. Louis for Halloween a couple years in a row?
Mm-hmm.
So the second one, they like had like themes for the different concerts.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget, I think the one I went to was going to be like the future. So I had this whole like future time cop look.
Ooh.
Like this, it was like this green, like peacock green with like the duochrome fabric.
I love
like
that.
Spaghetti strap, like cami dress that I wore with, I don't even remember. I think I wore with, I don't even remember what boots I wore them with, but like
Platform.
Rufus from Bill and Ted kind of glasses.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Rufus glasses for sure.
Like I was like, oh, you want me to be evil time traveler for the future? I got you.
But not your usual vibe, I gather. Joy,
Yeah.
curious about the thought process there. Tell us more.
I just hired Danielle as my personal snark. Personal snark / petty to follow me around and whisper things for me to
Your own
say.
personal snarker.
No kidding.
Snarker.
Well, now this is
Exactly.
where we like completely derail and talk about like who we would see ourselves as in Gravity Falls /
No, but that's for the wrap up.
the Mystery Shack universe. Okay, for the wrap
That's for the
up.
wrap up. We can't talk about that now.
When you say wrap
Not
up,
like
do you
I
mean
have
end
a-
of this episode or like after the end of
No.
this?
Yeah. So the way Bachpod typically works is we watch the whole show, and then there's usually an extra episode at the end of after the whole show. We just kind of talk about like any
Whatever.
last minute,
Awesome.
like last one more things, or like
might-
I'm really interested in the arc that happened
I might
that
do,
I couldn't
I
talk
might do
about because I
Paula
didn't see
Solid
it yet.
and make my own super cut of banjo polish.
Ooh.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
If you're feeling industrious, you could make it a whole internet song. You could go full like you could
Banjo
go full clip art.
polish.
You could go full clip art with it.
Banjo polish.
Banjo polish. Exactly.
Now
I
at the
don't see
Fantasy
the problem
Costco.
here. It's perfect.
Gotta deal with you.
Exactly. But we are actually here to talk about 3 episodes of Gravity Falls, I
Mhm.
promise. Season 2, episodes 4, 5, and 6, which are just such choice episodes.
These are
Although
great episodes.
I didn't really understand when we had these come up on the docket how horrifying each and every single one of them was in very different ways. Yeah. Like I think we talked a little bit about like when Bill first shows up and you're like, okay, this is the part where it's like, oh, that's actually like legitimately scary.
This
And
is
like not just to
scary.
children.
Yeah.
And then we get these episodes where I'm just like, oh, it's like 3 episodes of Uncanny Valley. I don't know what I'm looking at anymore.
I mean, real talk, like I still don't think that we've topped either Deer Teeth or the combo Mabel Dipper creature, but we get close.
We get close. I feel like so let's talk about that first episode
Sock
with,
opera.
yes.
Well, before I just wanted to say like all 3 of these have incredible special effects and animation
Yeah.
in like wildly different ways. But like all of them, there's moments where you're like, dang, they really did the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, we could even talk about that individually from the episodes. I mean, like the stop motion idea to just like throw actual stop motion into
good.
into the show.
And then lampshade the shadow puppet stuff at the end. Just
Yeah. Like the IRL sock puppets and I'm also sitting here like, okay, so is that the actors doing sock puppets, or is that Alex Hirsch with a recording of the actors doing sock puppets, or is that I'm like trying to deconstruct
the puppet?
Matt Chapman.
Oh, see, there we go. So it was a recording.
I don't know. Just I know that Matt Chapman was involved in the puppetry at the end of it. By the way, the Wikipedia entries for these 3 episodes are just incredible.
Are they? Would you like to read us a taste?
Let's see.
Maybe starting with sock opera.
Yeah, no, that's what I've gone back to sock opera.
No, love it.
Sock opera is so good. Like, it's so just absolutely bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, sock opera. I really enjoy sock opera because we get sort of all the elements that we saw in season 1 of what makes or breaks Mabel and Dipper's relationship, right? Like we have the things that make it strong. We have the things that kind of, not that make it weak per se, but what might
push them apart, maybe.
Yeah, like have them sort of peel back from each other and go in 2 different directions, and how irritating that can be to the both of them because they both have hyperfocus, and
they're both
they got
extremely neurodivergent.
Extremely neurodivergent. And man, as someone who can tell you when there are 2 neurodivergent folks who are not focusing on the same thing, it can literally be the worst possible day of your life.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I just thought it was really cute that Dipper was also trying to help with the puppet show while also still trying to break passwords.
Me too.
Definitely not sleeping. Like, he was trying to be supportive of his sister. And because she was going to be supportive of him just any minute. And like Mabel was like so dude obsessed that she just couldn't see it. By the way, I know I hate to skip to the end, but I love that we get the, dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, right.
With Gabe. Because I'm like, first of all, that is not a child. There's nothing you can tell me that will tell me that's a child. First. Second, the man kisses his puppets. And he is a man. So Mabel, please stop.
Yeah. But she was just so enchanted by his ponytail, and his roller skates.
Like, I'm not saying he was an old man, but he was over. I mean, I almost want to say like 19.
Yeah, like he looks older than Wendy.
Yeah, like he was short, but an adult. Like, an old teenager, if we really want to get technical with it. I like also having like an actual dude's voice come out of his face, but also having him be maybe a head taller than Mabel was a little bit like, wait, what? And so I was just like, puppets aren't only for children. I can kind of see your point, but you're also being a little creepy. You also have ridiculously high standards for your fellow children if you are in fact a child.
I believe he is supposed to be like 14, like if that old. Like he obviously is supposed to be designed where he looks way too old, but also at the same time, like maybe a year older than Mabel and Dipper. Like not that way, just not that much.
I mean, maybe this is also a commentary on like, old actors playing teenagers.
Well, yes. The guy who played who played him is one of the members of the Lonely Island.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Because yeah, Joy, I think you're right. Like it wasn't even the animation; it was the voice that made the character sound older. And I was like, oh, adult. All right.
Like, he never talked about parents. You know what I'm saying? Like, and maybe that is just angsty teenager who just wants to be left alone with his puppets, which still creepy. But like, okay, all right, buddy. Just rollerblading everywhere and showing up to the puppet show and asking girls out for biscotti.
The thought of rollerblading outdoors in like August in black leggings and a long sleeve black shirt. I am sweating just thinking about that.
I think I can't remember because again, my memory is such a jumble of watching these episodes, and I can't remember who I originally watched this with. But if I had been watching these with my ex at the time, who was hugely into rollerblading, even into his 20s and his 30s, like it was his thing.
Mhm.
So it was also just like, I'm pretty sure we were watching it. And I have this vague recollection of him being something like, that kid must be jacked because to rollerblade on a dirt road
Yeah, that's the other
is
thing.
not easy.
Through
No.
the woods.
He's gotta
Through
have
the
like some
woods.
kind of like crazy wheels.
Yeah, he's got those like tire
Right?
rollerblade wheels with the tread. But even then, it's like, and one rock and your face planted.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, Gabe, man, absolutely not. Hard stop.
Just-
do not
Mhm.
do not
The
pass
flags
go.
are all red.
The flags are all red and they go all the way down.
I mean, even like Mermando read as an adult to me. I'm not gonna lie,
But they address it.
Yes,
address
and
it.
like that wasn't creepy in the same way. I don't know why. I can't quite put my finger on it, but Mermando didn't
Level
read-
of fishman to puppet master. On a scale of creepy, where do you fall? Where is it?
Fishman to
Move
puppet.
the dot.
I want to write a book called Fishman to Puppet Master and just never
TM.
and just never explain that at all ever
And the book has nothing to do with the title
at all.
at all. It's actually a rom-com set in
Space.
space.
There you
Sorry,
go.
an interrupting cat says what?
Aw.
Okay.
I mean,
So that's
the rest of the
half
first
the
episode.
episode, right? Half the
Yeah.
episode is Mabel obsessing over Gabe Benson and then putting on a rock opera, a sock puppet rock opera titled Glove Story, a sock
Love
opera.
story. Yes.
Mhm. Because
Story.
she got so wrapped up in her conversation with Gabe, she ended up telling him that she was putting on a show that Friday.
Right.
Dipper, other half, and has a bit of a devil's bargain with Bill Cipher.
Oh.
Yes, I love that half of this episode, actually. Because
It's pretty
speaking
great.
of, it's pretty great. And like speaking of the relationship between the twins, I love that the way Bill Cipher sneaks his way in there is by manipulating Dipper and playing on the fact that Dipper feels like he's constantly sacrificing for Mabel and she isn't always doing the same for him.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's been following them around this whole time. He's been watching it. He's been watching both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And like he can just, like they start arguing and he can just, he reads people really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he doesn't understand how to people, which we find out when he makes this deal to quote unquote have a puppet.
Mm-hmm.
And he ends up possessing Dipper's body,
Which I don't
thrusting
know.
Dipper into the shadow realm.
Like, even in the trixiest of deals, taking over someone's body when they've agreed to give you a puppet, I don't know about that. I don't know if that would stand up like in the fairy tale legal world.
Oh no, 100%.
But Bill's not. But those aren't the rules Bill plays by.
My favorite part about that, Danielle, is you'll notice he actually doesn't commit to his end of the bargain either
Yeah.
by smashing the laptop, which nobody will ever get. You know what I mean? Like, he was never going to give you the password.
Mhm.
He was never going to take a puppet.
Right.
He was going to take Dipper. I did have a whole moment of like, friends, this is why we don't make deals with fairies moment.
Right.
As if Bill was the worst possible fairy.
Mm-hmm.
I hate Bipper's eyes.
I mean, you're supposed to.
Like the little goat
I
eyes
know, but
almost.
like, yes, I know, but this was what gave me the horror. Well, to be fair, the screaming head gave me the horror on the train on the way in.
Oh, the screaming head was pretty good.
I forgot about the screaming head and it just kind of surprised me. And it was very funny, but it was also terribly frightening because I forgot it was coming. And I was like, oh, right. Yeah, got it.
I love
can't
that
believe
the
I
show
didn't
jump scared you.
It did. I wasn't expecting it. And then it kept on screaming.
I can't believe I didn't write it down for these episodes, but a thing that I have written down often for this podcast is, oh, look, more body horror.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah, you're right. I don't think I wrote it down for this episode either. It was all over episode,
Yeah, like-
whatever number in the last that we discussed in the last podcast episode where they find the professor who's not a
Oh,
professor.
yeah.
Yeah.
Body horror. All the body horror.
Oh, look, more body horror.
There's your title for the episode. Oh, look, more body horror.
I mean, I guess that's not entirely wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I just love that they defeat Bill by the mechanics of being a human.
Yes.
Because Mabel, not Dipper, because Mabel can't quite find the solution in the book because that's not her forte.
Right.
You know, it's like she rolled intelligence and she got a 1.
Also,
and she was like,
there isn't a black light right there, you know?
Yes. I mean, but this isn't like also this is Dipper's thing. Like this is Dipper's whole thing. The books and the mystery and the, you know, it's like bringing in a novice and expecting them to ace the final.
So true.
And you know, and it's not that she's not intelligent. It's just also like, but that's just not her bag. Her bag was being in love with a boy this whole time. And she accomplished that pretty well.
Yes, and her bag was, you know, coming in the third act and actually sacrificing something for Dipper. That something being her sock puppet rock opera and her chance at Gabe Benson, going on a date with Gabe Benson.
Dodged a bullet. Just remember, Mabel, you dodged a bullet. But like, I also love that she fixes it by just being like, you don't know the body you're in. And you haven't been in a body in a while.
Yeah.
I got some news for you. And like knowing exactly where Dipper's ticklish because siblings.
Yep.
Knowing that Dipper hasn't slept in several days. And what is it she says? Something like, I've got 8 hours of sleep and I've been drinking 5 Mabel juice.
Right, because her Mabel juices are full of energy drink, basically.
Yeah.
You know?
Hang on, let me bring up the transcript. Hang on.
The Mabel juice is also
The Mabel juice is also cursed.
Whatever like Stan says about it is also just very funny. It's like the worst, like it's coffee but worse or something. The worst parts of coffee.
It's like coffee had nightmares or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like coffee's nightmare.
I love the Mabel juice. I love it so much, actually.
I like that it has dinosaurs.
Toy dinosaurs.
I got a full night's sleep and I'm on 4 mega shots of Mabel juice.
Yeah.
like somebody tattoo that on my body. Like, you know what I mean? Remember to self-care. I love that she basically defeats him by the power of humanity.
Yes, exactly. But see, that's the kind of smart that Mabel is.
Yes.
She's like, how do I defeat this super evil creature? That. And also hitting, what was on her big button, like big finish?
Yeah, the pyrotechnics.
Her pyrotechnics.
That almost killed the whole town. Which also, how did she get that space on such short notice? I have questions. As a performer, I don't know how that works.
Literally the only plot hole in this episode, so we won't ding the show too much for it.
Also true.
Oh boy.
Oh boy is right. Wait, is there? Oh yes, go.
No, what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say like what are the other one more things which you were clearly about to.
I anticipated it.
Exactly.
Well, I do have my favorite moment before Jill says it, because I'm sure she will. She'll probably say the thing I'm about to say. And I do this all the time to Danielle. So in turn of, you know, like passing it along, you got to disseminate it amongst the co-hosts.
It's like the ring.
Exactly. I have to show you have to show her, and so on and so on. But my favorite top number 1 moment that is of Mabel is in this episode.
Oh, really?
Would you like to take a guess as to what it is?
No.
We haven't talked about it yet.
This is too high pressure.
Of sock opera.
Sorry, Danielle.
What is it, Jill?
Of sock opera?
Of sock opera.
Okay.
It's in sock opera. It's not in the sock opera play. It's actually quite early in the show, in the episode.
This is too much pressure for me. I can't handle it.
It's okay.
Bump, bump.
It's okay, Danielle. Yes. It is the heart in the book. It is 100% the heart in the book. Thump, 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 thump. 100% that. It is my favorite Mabel moment. When people ask me to explain Mabel, I usually find that gif and I'm like, it's this. She this.
That's definitely a fantastic moment.
Right? Like, it's somewhere between that and the sweater that she made for, like, You Can Do It, Seuss, but she messed up that.
I messed up that part.
Oh, You Could Do It, Seuss. What a great sweater. I love Mabel's sweaters. How have we not talked about her sweaters more often?
I know.
They deserve.
I feel like we're going to have to talk about them all in the wrap-up.
They
Yeah, the
deserve their own
wrap-up is going to be
episode.
like top 3 Mabel sweaters, you know?
Ooh.
But how do you choose?
You got to.
But what were you going to say, Jill?
I was gonna say, Candy dressed up like David Bowie sends me every time.
Yes.
It's really subtle. If you're I meant to look it up. Actually, Jill, maybe you know. Is she actually speaking Korean?
So I don't know,
Fair.
but the trivia for this episode. Oh no! This is actually Korean in the transcript. Even.
Hey.
I am not going to attempt the romanization of those words.
It's okay.
Nope.
But the subtitle is "Wait, Gabe, Candy still loves you."
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's definitely that moment, and there's the moment earlier of like, I'm going to steal
Yes.
you away from Mabel. And I was listening to it, and of course it's I actually wonder if it's South Korean, because my ear is usually pretty good at picking up Japanese, but for some reason South Korean makes my whole ear go crazy because I'm like, it sounds like Japanese.
Okay.
It is not in fact Japanese.
So remember the show Lost?
I've actually never seen it.
So
Ooh.
there
I watched
2 of the
season 1.
Okay, so you know everything you need to know about what I'm about to say.
I've also like, it's been in the zeitgeist. Right. Like I understand most Lost references unless they're about very specific interests.
So I think their names were Jun and Sun.
Yeah.
In the first season, they speak exclusively in Korean.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting.
My ear also like the rhythm and just something about like the cadences of it. I was like, I don't think this is Japanese, but this sounds like it. And it's just this like, I don't know. I what you said basically.
Yeah. No, you can grok it as a fellow white American.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. The only reason I can grok Korean versus Japanese is that I have seen a few Korean soap operas and I've seen many animes, and I'm like, aha.
Aha.
Yeah.
Well, what's weird to
hear it better now.
Mm-hmm.
Like this happened like when Lost was first airing, and
yes, long time
I
ago.
was a far less aware person.
Yeah. No, when I first came across it, I feel like it was in one of the Marvel movies. Suddenly they were speaking in South Korean, and I had a whole moment where I was like, I had the same moment that I had just now, which was, please tell me that was an actual language and that wasn't just them making sounds. Because we've come so far from so many of the other things we've watched and made this exact same reference of with Asian languages. But like, it was an Avengers film, one of the Marvel insert here. And I was like, I thought we were in South Korea. Why are they speaking Japanese? Because it was so fast.
Yeah.
And it wasn't obviously the main language that was being said.
It was just sort of the ambient around.
Yeah. Like we didn't hear a lot of it. Like maybe you got one line every like 6 English phrases in one scene in a very fast paced action sequence. So I was like, what is happening right now? And then somebody actually corrected me. They were like, to the untrained ear, South Korean can actually sound a lot like Japanese. And again, it's that like, this was the initial, this was my like initial introduction into what South Korean actually sounds like, because before that I didn't have a whole lot of exposure. So I was just like, wait a second, hang on.
In the trivia for the episode, it does say, it just says character revelations. Candy is very fluent in Korean.
Yes. We do know that. Now we know.
I love that for us.
Character revelations. Candy is fluent in Korean. Candy did not dodge the Gabe Benson bullet. Candy has rose-colored glasses on and thus cannot see the red flags.
Nope. Yep.
Candy wants a laser.
Candy has the same keyboard, like the music keyboard that Suze has.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
They are both deeply boops.
Unless that's Seuss's keyboard. Do we think that's Seuss's
Oh,
keyboard?
you know what? That's a really good point. I'm literally just reading this off the wiki, so like you're making a very good point.
I mean, like, we'll never know. It's not like we can ask them. Hi.
Hey,
Who's Candy? Call up Zeus and be like,
hey,
so
dudes,
did you give
dudes, did you borrow my keyboard?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Okay, I feel like that actually leads pretty well into episode 5, Seuss and the Real Girl.
Yes.
I do have like one last thing.
Do one more thing.
No, go ahead because
the use
we're
of
going to spend an hour talking about Seuss. So go ahead.
The use of Ave Maria.
The Ave Maria use was perfect. I appreciate that joke every single time it happens.
It's never
it
not
happens
funny.
a lot. It's a trope. I wonder. See, now you're going to make me look up where that trope originated, but maybe we'll share that on the Twitter so we don't soak up podcast time for that.
But also it's one of like the few licensed musics in the entire series.
Oh yeah, so that ticks off
2.
What was it, like number 2?
Yep.
Now we're at 2 because it was 9 to 5 and then this.
Yep.
Yep.
I love that. I love that was one of them. Perfection.
All right, dudes. Let's talk about Seuss.
Seuss. Oh,
Yes.
a Seuss episode. A Seuss episode. Like the minute the cold open essentially ends with Mabel asking, "You ever wonder what Seuss does when he's not here at the Mystery Shack?" I was like, it's a Seuss episode.
Me and Danielle like, it's happening.
It's happening. Yeah, exactly. It's the gift from The Office.
Yeah. And I love that he is in control of his abuelita's highlights. He's making sure she's looking good for bingo.
That was
She is
so
going to be the prettiest at the bingo hall.
And I love I just come back and back to his relationship with his grandmother like every time. It's just it's so wholesome.
So precious.
And perfect.
Yes.
And I love it. And I love how gentle she is, where she's just like, come on, you're a man now. Go out there and find a lady you can bring to this engagement party. It's like not even to like, I mean, like the implication of settle down and blah, blah, blah. But like she's doing baby steps. She's like, find someone you can bring to the party.
I agree. I don't think it really it didn't feel like she was putting a lot of pressure on him. It was more like,
where are
hey,
my great-grandchildren?
Yeah.
Like that wasn't in there.
No, it was more like, hey man, like you just spent your whole evening putting highlights in my hair and playing video games. Maybe get out there a little more.
I also love that she watches the video games with him.
Yeah, so cute.
I imagine that she also, like, when he's not at home, she plays.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she's a video game playing grandma.
I mean, listen, like, platforms like Twitch exist for a reason. Like, pre that, like, I remember as a kid spending summers watching other people play video games before I, like, figured out how to play them myself. I was like, all right, I'm just going to watch. It's like a movie.
Just going to watch. Why would you not? It's on television, and everyone watches television. It doesn't matter what's on there. Literally doesn't matter. I was that kid. I was like, it doesn't matter. The television is on and I will watch it. Like,
look, there are things moving on a screen, so your eyes are drawn to it.
Yep. And unlike when you're watching a movie, if your brother is the one playing a video game, you can yell at him to do things and then he does them.
Get the fruit.
Jump. No, you got to jump sooner.
Jump. God. No, there's a double jump there.
Oh,
I see it. I see it.
Secret
Double
door back
jump.
there.
You missed it again.
Heal.
Gotta hit him on the head. Hit him on the head. I can only imagine what parents must have heard us saying. You got to stab him with the sword. No, you got to like twirl around and stab him with the sword. What? What are you saying?
Oh, it's so good. Okay, then Seuss tries to flirt with women. And oh boy, do we get a montage. A pretty terrible montage.
My favorite is still the first one, the very first one in the shack.
Your face is good. I'm a Seuss.
Your face is good. I'm a Seuss. I
I have a note for this one too. I'm curious what yours is.
Well, I fully respect that woman for running away screaming. We can't always control our reactions. I'm not saying it would have worked on me, but I would have liked to known more.
You say that you are a Suze. That implies that there are more Suze.
Yes.
Please elaborate.
The singular of multiple is it Suses or Susai? Or Cease? Are there Cease? You know what I mean? Like, I would have, this is how you know I'm neurodivergent as well. I would have just been like, okay, this is a fascinating conversation, but I don't know if this is actually going to go anywhere, but you seem really cool. Like, this is a pickup line that would not have worked on me either. So, like, I see it, I see it, I hear it, I understand. However, I would have needed to know more.
I don't know if I want to date you, but we can definitely hang out. I think we can have,
we can have a conversation.
Like, do you need a beard for this party? Because I'll show up with you. Fine. You know? I mean, this is also like, this is where, you know, I also fall on the like, and maybe Seuss is like Ace, and maybe that's fine. You know? I don't know if it's uninterested. I don't know if it's just like, I mean, women exist. I don't know if it's like, actually, I would like to admire you from afar so I don't have to feel awkward up close, which is literally where we end the episode.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, he doesn't need like physical companionship.
Yeah.
He just kind of wants to talk at someone on
or it like takes him a minute to get there, you know?
Maybe it takes him, maybe he's a late bloomer, whatever the heck that means. That's fraught.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but we have to talk about the JSIM that he ends up purchasing.
Yeah.
I know.
From this, where was, I mean, the mall, some store in the mall.
Yeah. Before they go to the mall, Wendy says to Suze, "You're a sweet guy with a steady job and a pickup truck."
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Stan immediately goes, "Well, would you date him?" And it's like, sir, you just asked this of a 15-year-old girl talking about a 25-year-old man.
Yeah. No.
I mean, that also reads like a Stan question. Number one, that reads like a Stan question. Number two, I don't know. There would be a part of me that would technically answer the question of just like, I mean, if I was in my 20s, maybe.
Of course, instead she gets really awkward as a 15-year-old would and buries her face in a magazine.
Right.
Because, like, maybe don't ask what employee at your store whether they would date another employee at your store.
You know, that's a really good point. It's a really...
all by itself.
Oof. I didn't think of that, but that is... I should have thought of that before I thought of anything else.
Just uncomfortable.
Awkward.
Ask your local EAI.
HR? We got an HR over here?
It's Waddles. Waddles is HR.
Waddles is HR. For days.
I would like to state for the record that Danielle just made me inhale maple juice.
I'm sorry.
Whoops.
I should have timed
you're
that
welcome.
better. You were so kind. Like last podcast episode when you waited until after I had taken a sip of something to say something. I was not as compassionate.
Oh my.
Achievement unlocked.
Oh, thankfully it didn't go all over my screen, but that was
I was just
going
to say, as someone who has had spicy water nearly come out of her nose, I know it's not fun.
No, not a fun feeling.
Nar.
I love the game.
The JSIM. It's so good.
I am 100%. 100% a person who would play that game. If a game like that came to life for me and was like, so you're just mine now, I would be like, yeah, sure. What do you want to do?
You want to hang out like all night?
You want to hang
for 13 hours straight? Yes.
I can continue to hold your books. Like, so what are you going to do after school today?
Mm-hmm.
Going to go home and probably eat something cute in the shape of an animal?
Yeah. I mean, listen, we've talked about me playing Persona 5 Royale on this podcast, right? Because
although I don't know if we talked about you playing Stardew Valley, which is another fun conversation too.
See, here's the thing. Like, I've never played a JSIM that is just a JSIM. So I don't know if I would actually enjoy that. But the two JSIM adjacent games that I have played, Stardew Valley, Persona 5 Royale. Like, have I pursued almost every relationship in both games? Yes. Because you just have to know. I have to know.
The completionism of it all.
Exactly.
Okay,
I will say, though, when I was playing through Mass Effect, I had one wifey, and just one, because I was dedicated.
Wait, who was it?
I'm really bad at names. The blue alien.
Oh, the Asari.
I was just going to say,
Liara.
was it the blue one? Because there was only one.
Liara. No, that's a good choice.
That's a good choice. That was my wife.
She is so pretty.
I saw her, I think. Whenever she's introduced in the game, I immediately imprinted on her, and I was like, and this is it. This is the one. There will be no other.
And there are some games. Well, but I feel like that game is also really difficult to play if you want to try the other ones out.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we're also talking about a game that was like a little earlier on where it was like you pick one and you stick with it. Otherwise, you really do have to play a lot of the game over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Like the other games you mentioned, it's a little bit easier to kind of bounce from one to the other.
That's true. Or you can like at least just like go to the beginning of a conversation and play it through and then like go back, like multi-saves, whatever.
And now we have Baldur's Gate 3 where you just save scrub and you just start every relationship all over again.
I cannot play that game. I will be in danger.
You would probably not like it.
No, I know that I will love it, and I will love it too much. I will be in danger of quitting my job and just like living my entire life not seeing the outdoors any longer, not speaking to friends. Like I do think it would be bad.
And a Astarian
what I'm
tattoo
hearing
would like appear on your body somewhere. You wouldn't even go get a tattoo. It would just appear.
It would just be here.
What I'm hearing is you need to have a very, very long vacation.
Yeah. But we're talking like a year-long vacation.
Yeah, right.
Like my summer break is not going to cut it.
No.
Especially since I tend to work over the summer. So it's still
I was just going to say, I was like, that still doesn't work because you're working. Even if it's only like 3 days a week. But anyway.
Anyway.
I love her so much and I would literally die for her. I always feel bad about her, like what happens to her at the end of the episode. But I'm just like, right, we had to have at least one AI thing try to kill somebody because that's it. That's the trope.
Yes, but like, did she have to die? I don't know. Then again, like, what's worse? If they had just trapped her somehow in one electronic, I don't think that actually would have made her happy. So
I mean, I don't think so either. Like, she was constantly reaching out for companionship, and that's just what she got. I feel bad.
Yeah.
I feel bad. But ultimately, the real relationship in this whole episode, which has its ups and lows, its highs and downs, its ups and downs.
Highs and lows.
Ups and lows, highs and downs. That's the new way we're saying
love
it. That's great.
I enjoy that
highs
quite
and
a
lows,
bit.
highs and downs.
Like, that's like, if that could
your
also
uppers
be.
And your downers.
That could also be the title of this podcast episode.
Also true. Honestly, I'm really leaning toward Jason adjacent.
Jason adjacent.
I don't know why. I like that all by itself as a non sequitur to be like, look, I don't know what you came here for, but this is Gravity Falls.
But if it wasn't this, then
I can't help you.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like it's Grunkle Stan and his gold spewing. What is it even called?
That is so
Goldie.
Interesting. Old
His name is Goldie.
Because you said
Goldie.
that there's one relationship with its. I can't remember the order of the things you said, but it was perfect, whatever you said. And
highs and lows, highs and downs.
You could have gone for Grunkle Stan and Old Goldie, or you could have gone for Seuss and Melody. And I was trying to figure out which way you were going to go.
I thought you were talking about Seuss and Melody, but I was also wrong. Because Stan and Goldie are absolutely the other standout couple in this episode.
They're my Aziraphale and Crowley of this episode.
Oh,
okay?
no.
They have everything.
Married.
They have marriage. They have divorce.
Married.
They have cheating. They have leaving. They have returning. They have no. So
did you guys listen to Cash Money, by the way?
Yes. Of course.
For some reason, I'd never listened to it all the way through. I was incoherent. I was laughing so hard.
The only reason I didn't say Melody and Seuss, which obviously they're perfect for each other, they're so cute, is because I was technically already talking about them.
Fair.
When I was like, what Seuss wants is a woman he can talk to through his computer screen, and I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Like, he's definitely not interested in finding a woman other than I need a date to a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he wants to be good at dating. He wants to get along with these women. He's just so awkward that he's just like, well, why would I? Why?
Yeah.
Why am I trying? Why am I trying?
Yeah.
And it took a woman to just kind of find him and be like, you're very funny, and I feel like we'd get along.
Yeah.
I expect, like, props to Melody for number one being a bad AB with actually fighting robots.
Mm-hmm.
Seuss,
But that
their
chair.
children.
With a chair. And Seuss, their children. I mean, that's kind of number two because she's like, perspective.
Right.
Perspective, sweetie.
Mm-hmm.
And number three, this isn't even the worst date I've been on. Never date a magician.
That kills me every
The
time.
patience Melody must have for these men. I don't
The
know.
pickings
Seems like
are
a good
slim in Portland. I guess. I don't know.
I guess. I mean,
Everyone
you
I know
know.
in Portland is in a polycule, so like I guess everyone's spoken for like multiple times. I don't know.
I mean, then again, maybe Melody is looking for exactly the same thing. I too would like to just talk to somebody I find funny on a screen.
Aw.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. They seem really cute together, but no, my OTP
Your OTP is
is Grunkle Stan. His machine.
and his machine. Tell me we see that machine again. Does it
I don't
show
think
up?
we
Is it at
do.
least in the background? Because it just
I wanna
is in
say
his
yes.
It's just in his shop.
I genuinely don't remember. I
Yeah.
want to say yes, but I generally don't remember.
I'm going to be watching the backgrounds because I feel like Old Goldie isn't going to be part of the narrative again. But I feel like, you know, he'll show up in the background somewhere, or there will be, I would die if there were a wedding photo on the wall. Like, that's actually what I want. I want a shot in which the animators just put a wedding photo on the wall somewhere.
Oh man.
I too would really love that. I hope it is too. I don't remember, but then again, my memory for the show is already broken, which I've talked about multiple times.
So one of the things that was really funny that I saw in the trivia is that this came out before both Doki Doki Literature Club and Five Nights at Freddy's.
Ah!
Like this was, or it was already like in production so far before either of those things came out. It was just sort of one of those like, hey, Gravity Falls and wait, Welcome to Night Vale premiere on the same day. Like it's another one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. It's if you fold up a dollar bill in a certain way, it's giving you a secret message.
Exactly.
I love the lore that surrounds this show in particular.
In what capacity?
It so much. I don't know. I love that, like, because it's a weird show about weird stuff. It's almost like, so we also, we watched Fringe and we've talked about like X-Files and Person of Interest. One of the funniest things talking about Person of Interest is you go back and look at the interviews with some of the actors and the producers, and they're like, oh yeah, we were talking about like Chinese spy satellites. And then suddenly things are in the news and it's weird. You know, and it's just kind of this moment of like, wait a second, it's a show about secrets.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if some of those secrets are true.
So, Joy, what I'm hearing is you're the Dipper.
I'm Mabel, who puts on glasses, even though Dipper doesn't wear glasses, and is just like, haha, I am now the Dipper.
Mabel.
I'm the one who has stolen the book.
Yes.
And tries to find the solution, and then just goes, I don't know, it's funny.
A Mabel who every now and then does light upon a conspiracy theory that she believes.
That she believes. It's funny you say that. Really quick sidebar. I was raised by two intellectuals, and there's a lot of stuff that both of my parents were like, well, that's trash. That's trash. That's trash. Don't believe that. That's trash. You know, and so they tried to instill in me an ability to kind of have a trash meter and be like, this thing isn't real. It works to varying degrees. It depends on what we're talking about. But like my favorite thing is like my mom has exactly one conspiracy theory that she believes. And I'm like, Mom, is it there's always one? Is there always one? Really? Like what? Well, what are we even talking about?
And
I'm like,
we're just taking.
Yeah, same.
No, we're not. We're not talking about it on the podcast.
Okay, off
we
the
will
pod,
talk
off
about
the
it
pod.
out. The
Tell me
podcast.
what it is, please.
But it's just so funny to me that I'm just like, did you watch some videos that asked some vague unanswered questions and filled in your own blanks?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's literally the thing you told me to look out for.
Oof.
You know.
I used to have a favorite conspiracy theory that I really liked.
Oh?
Oh, God. My favorite conspiracy theory used to be that Bill Hicks faked his own death and is actually Alex Jones. Or Alex Jones is actually Bill Hicks.
Interesting. I've never heard that one before.
It's like just like someone mentioned it somewhere. I did a Google, like there was like I don't remember if it was like a blog post or a YouTube video or something, but like it goes through, this is why we think this. And you're like, you know what, you're onto something. And I really loved that one. It was really great. And then, like he started going fully cuckoo bananas off the deep end, you know, with his vitamins and his supplements and his,
as they tend to do. Yeah.
And his bad marriage and just sort of like, I was like, you know what? I don't want this. I want, if this is the choice, I want Bill Hicks to be dead.
I mean, there were personal conspiracy theories among my friend group. I had one friend who managed to convince her boyfriend that her father may or may not be Elton John.
What?
And I was like, okay. I was like, slow your roll.
Wait a
minute.
minute.
He's like, no. He's never in town on the nights that Elton John has concerts. I was like,
no.
Like, he's a big deal in the music industry. I was like, you can be a big deal in the music industry and not be Elton John. Like, the two things are not synonymous. There isn't only Elton John in the music industry. Like, you don't have to be a musician to be a big deal in the music industry. Like, what are you smoking?
So strange.
It was a bonkers conspiracy theory, and my friend fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. He would just kind of like stare at him, just like, hang on a second. And I'm like, my dude, he doesn't even look like him. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit.
I mean, not without all the prosthetics.
All the wigs. Meanwhile, I'm just like, Elton John dresses so flamboyantly that he doesn't have to do anything to his face. No one's looking at his face. Everyone's looking at his outfit.
Yeah, the outfit. So, the glasses are as close as they get.
So what you're telling me is our dads are all Elton John.
Right.
Then I have some terrible news about Elton John.
The church of our father Elton John. Like it was such a weird, it was also really strange too to be like, you do know he's gay, right? Like, I'm not saying he can't father a child, and I'm not saying he can't be a father to that child, but I'm also kind of saying he's also super gay. Like, do you see dudes around the house? Her father seems pretty straight. It was the weirdest take. And I was like, I don't know what
to do
nonsense.
With this?
Yeah. Like, as a friend to both of them, I was just like, can you both not? This is so weird. You okay, Jill?
Sorry, I just saw just the most wrong opinion I've ever seen in my life.
Uh-oh. Is it at all related to this, or is this
It's not. It's not. But it's going to make... I kind of want to tell you guys, because I think you guys will both be really angry about it like I am.
Well, hold on to that. Hold on to that.
Let's discuss.
And along with my mother's weird conspiracy theory, we will share all these things.
Of horrors.
Yes. So we get another like mini clip episode.
Okay. I enjoyed this episode. I am a little bit sad that there was not more music in it. Like, how do you call something Little Gift Shop of Horrors and not even give me one little, like, just like a little something?
That's such a good point.
Come on.
Yeah, that's so...
I forgot that there wasn't a lot of music in it, and then I was just like, "Oh, right, there isn't a lot of music in this."
I almost feel like I've had this same thought and like forgotten it because it feels that true.
Yeah. It's so weird to talk about this episode because it feels just like that last episode where I'm just like, how on earth do I talk about the thing?
Well, do you have a favorite story? We could each just say which our favorite story was. And if they're different, hopefully we'll talk about all three.
I mean, I really like the Waddles episode because I love Waddles.
A Baconings.
Honestly, a Baconings is the thing I've been looking forward most to seeing Danielle's reaction to. Or is one of the, it's on the list. It's very
It's on the list because I'm deeply in love with Waddles.
Yes.
Waddles voiced by Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Of course, now we have to cancel Waddles.
Well, that's the problem. That's the problem. I have to say, I would have loved a Baconings so much more. But the fact that Waddles was voiced by Neil deGrasse Tyson really pulled me out of this episode, I gotta say. Like, it ruined it. It ruined it like 20% for me. And I was like, no. Because, like, otherwise, it would have been so cute.
Who would you have cast as Waddles?
I don't know. I'm really bad at this game. Who's like who's a smart person we like? Who's a person who plays smart people that we like?
What about LeVar Burton?
Yes.
Ooh, LeVar
I would have 100% been like, oh my God, LeVar Burton. Teach me things. Teach me things, LeVar Burton.
That's a good choice. My brain actually went to like Star Trek first. And I was like thinking through all the Star Trek-y, like literally the cast of all of the Star Treks and being like, which of these people would have wanted to voice Waddles? Like, plenty of good choices there.
At that point, Patrick Stewart was also doing so much voiceover that I'm a little surprised he didn't do Waddles. This is like the era of Patrick Stewart voicing cartoons.
But I would want it to be like a science officer, you know? Okay.
I submit Jonathan Frakes saying, but I like to get my tummy tickled.
I mean, just that one line. Just that one. Like, look, the Waddles, the pig, could also be cycling through voices. Like, Are we not just happy to have him do the entire TNG cast? Like, is that just not what we want?
Have like a full fifth of the episode be him trying to pick which voice he likes the best.
Oh yeah, off.
You know what I mean? Thing. Like when you set up a character in a video game, you're just like, no, not that voice,
good. Not that one, not that one, not that one. All the Star
Definitely
Trek.
Not that one.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you know where my brain went. This is so bad. My brain went to one of the options is Neil deGrasse Tyson, and Waddles goes, definitely not that one.
I mean,
in another universe, that scene exists in this episode.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this episode came out in 2014.
Yeah.
Which I think was like late enough that like some people knew, but or early enough that not too many people knew, but like late enough that some people knew.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was already in Austin for several years by the time the show started. So like I'd already also heard whisperings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's one of those things where there was a lot of the 20 teens of like stuff was still kind of coming out, and you know, Me Too movement was only gaining steam. I think, what was it, 2015, 2016?
Yeah, like definitely after 2014.
Yeah,
I think.
I feel like that's true. I'm also friends. I'm super bad at time.
Same.
And all of that. So, like, if you're like, actually, it was 2012, I would 100% believe you. I'm not sitting. I am here to be corrected. Please feel free to correct me.
Now, yeah, I did check the wiki, and you know, maybe there were like whisperings before, and maybe like there were rumors, but officially the accusations were made in 2018. Like the accusations made by the four women were made in 2018.
Yeah, because I want to say by 2014 it was more just like top dude in science who also talks about it, not like a boring broken record, and not, you know, like supposed to be. I remember talking about Neil deGrasse Tyson as the predecessor is the wrong word. The other one.
Other who?
The continuation
human?
of the thing. Yeah, but like
the heir to the Carl Sagan legacy.
Yes. Essentially like the next Carl Sagan. Like he talks about science the way we want to be talked about, like we want science to be talked about. We want to have conversations that are interesting and thought-provoking and also like extremely down to earth. Ha ha ha. Like, you know, he's on whatever it was, Comedy Central or whatever, talking to Jon Stewart about like, oh, it's fascinating. Do you want to see how we get to the moon? It's stupid. Let me tell you a thing. And like, you have to wait for planets to align, which is wild.
Right.
You know, like, but you know, it was, yeah, at that point, it was still like scientist superstar.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Totally.
Which makes perfect sense to be like, and then he voiced a pig.
And then he voiced a pig, a very smart pig, a pig who ate a bowl of mashed perceptrooms. I love the perceptrooms. I love how this happens. I just
give me a whole series just about the perceptrooms. Whole series. Just microdose them, and then you've basically got Limitless.
It'd be so good. I'm like, Dipper. I mean, obviously, this is a made-up story, but if it weren't a made-up story, then, like, Dipper should just grow an entire field of perceptrooms. How could you not?
Could you imagine going into algebra in 8th grade with perceptrooms? That would have been great. Oh, that would have been so good.
That would have solved a lot of my issues with school, I think.
That would have made my life a lot easier.
It's basically just pre-Adderall. But the other thing I was so mad about is like, you also don't have to make yourself dumb as a pig. You could literally let Dipper step into this giant brain thing and zap himself and make himself super smart, which was the whole point to begin with.
Well, it was the whole point for Dipper, right? I mean, meanwhile, Smart Waddles, A, the communication machine is amazing. B, I kind of love rockets. Right? I kind of love that, like, the first few things he decides to do are just, like, help people around town with their mundane tasks. Like, what if I built a jetpack for Grenda so she can go save her kite? Grenda.
Children.
A laser for Candy.
Roll the sky.
I would like to posit that the laser for Candy, which she's going to use for her enemies, by the way, I would like to believe that the laser is intended for what's his face, the puppeteer, because he has since broken her heart.
I will accept your headcanon. And I would like to posit that she uses the laser to destroy all his puppets.
Yes, destroy the puppets.
We have to talk about some of the other. I do also like the hand one.
The hand witch.
The hand witch. Mostly, I just like the hand witch. I mostly like the hand witch is my favorite part of that episode, but I also like that it's, it's a very classic, like, thinner moment of somebody puts a curse on you and then you have to like fix it because Grunkle Stan steals a gold watch.
Through these last couple of episodes, actually.
Yes. Yeah. Although we definitely get a very solid homage to Manos the Hands of Fate in what the hand witch is wearing, which also made me go
deliberate.
Which made me go to the internet and look up, because you can actually buy, which is something I don't know why I didn't know until now. You can actually buy like official Manos the Hands of Fate costumes, and they also have a skater girl dress, which I may or may not purchase. It is a whole $65, and I might just drop that on having a stupid, dumb joke of a dress. It's so stupid. And it's like people who get it will get it, and people who don't get it are going to be like, what the hell are you wearing?
Yeah. Or like,
the
that's
girls
a cool
who
dress.
get it.
Or maybe I just like a weird black dress with some bloody hands going down it. Don't judge me. But yeah, like, I love the hand witch. I love that she was just lonely. I love that she gets a dude at the end of the episode.
The Lost Hiker. Spectacular. I love when people end up happy. That's my favorite thing. Like, that's all I really want in this world.
She's just a lonely little old lady.
Lonely little lady who gets her whole home redecorated by Mabel, by the way. I love the Mabel home decor, complete with the little book of pickup lines.
The candelabra
The candelabra.
The best.
I also like the Game of Thrones, the Game of Hands, small little reference that the animators did, like somewhere in the middle where they made a throne of hands and they made it look like the Game of Thrones throne.
That was excellent.
I love that. But of course, the best well put together episode of these minisodes is the claymation episode.
Mm-hmm.
Where they actually have claymation, which is freaking amazing, which is like a dying art, you know, like
those people are called animators.
Animators. Tell us every syllable in that word, Seuss. Every single one. You don't miss a single one. That word is worth $5 whole.
He's gonna get his $5 out of it.
He had to get the whole $5. Otherwise, he doesn't get the $5 bill. He gets like 3 singles.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you know, it has a beginning, middle, and an end. It has like one of your characters is in a dire traumatic situation.
What a tight episode.
Yeah. Like, I also
Did
love
you say
that, like,
tight or Titan?
Tight. But
okay.
Titan would be great too.
That's why I was like, wait.
Wait a minute.
Both work.
Both work.
So there's a line Mabel says, wipe that face off your face.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know if it was a reference to, but there is a line in the movie Dazed and Confused where Parker Posey yells at some freshmen and says, wipe that face off your head. And that's all I could think of.
That's great.
Is it borrowing or is it original? Who can say?
Who can say? I mean, as you said, with this show, it's so hard to tell, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, the way they really do wear their references just like right on their sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I appreciate that, you know, like I appreciate that I don't have to like sift too hard to like find something, you know, or if it's a reference that's just sort of like a quick little moment, like the Gumby moment with Seuss.
Oh yeah,
that was
so
brilliant.
Cute.
Mm-hmm.
Which is just so cute. It's like, why is he even in claymation form? It doesn't matter. It's fine. I also like the framing device for this episode.
Yeah.
You know, I like that it's like someone's car is broken down. They come across the mystery shack. And then
Castles don't have phones, bleep.
Essentially abducts them.
Yes.
And makes them an attraction in his roadside attraction.
Traps them forever. I mean, honestly, that is a special kind of horrifying also.
Yeah. I mean, I love that it's just like, in case you forgot, Grunkle Stan is not the role model we all want him to be.
Nope.
There is an episode of Amphibia where they end up at the Amphibia version of the Mystery Shack, and there is an Amphibia Stan and an Amphibia Seuss. And he kind of does this, like he kind of is trying to turn them into attractions at the Amphibia Mystery Shack.
I love that. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane, but I also love it. I feel like we're at one more things. I'm sure Jill has a mountain of things that we didn't talk about this episode. Should we go first, or would you like to list them all?
Or sift through the mountain, you know? Do you?
I have one more things actually from Susan the Real Girl.
Okay. Ooh, okay.
Early on, when like this in the beginning of the episode where he's doing Abuelita's highlights, and she says, you know, I want you to have a wife, you know, but when I go up to heaven to live with the angels, and Suze goes, and with Grandpa, and she goes, no, he's not there.
He is not there. Again, I love their relationship so much. I love this abuelo who's just like, men are scum, but not my Seuss.
Not my Seuss.
He is her
perfect.
Precious boy. He never did a thing wrong.
Yeah.
He is perfect, and we love him.
And we love him.
And we love him. Okay.
The other one I had was just like Giffany's like she goes through several of Stephen King's tropes during the episode.
Mhm.
And the two that I noticed the most were the mother from Carrie.
Yep.
Mm.
And Annie Wilkes.
I don't know that reference.
Misery.
That's Misery. That's an author gets trapped in a
Yes,
in like
yes,
a mountain
yes.
cabin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
forgot.
So the,
about
the
that.
A
context
rabid
is,
fan.
the context is totally different, but like the obsessiveness and
Mhm.
the way she talks about Suze really, really reminded me of Annie Wilkes.
Mhm.
Yeah, no,
I
it
can totally
it
see that.
definitely gives Annie vibes. I I have one that's kind of a thinker, and I
Okay.
have one that's a little bit silly because it's like I can't believe I forgot to mention this. I love that Stan has the Eye of Sauron in his mystery shack.
Did I see that? I think
I don't
missed
think I
that.
saw that. Yeah.
I missed it.
Well, so he has a ball when it's during when he's talking about the hand. He's like, "Oh, you don't want that," and he grabs something from you, the viewer.
yeah.
And it's an eye and a ball. Now it looks like the Eye of Sauron. Like I'm staring at it and I'm like 100% that's the Eye of Sauron. It could also just be like a giant cat eye. I don't know. Who could say?
But I mean, what is the Eye of Sauron if not a giant cat eye, though?
My point. Realizing this is not a visual medium, I can't just point at Jill. I have to actually say my point and
Yes.
point at Jill. And then my other one, which is kind of a thinker, is why doesn't Wendy hear Bipper when they get in the car?
Because
What do
he's
you
not
mean?
corporeal.
But we established that
No, Bipper.
Bill
Mm.
taking over Dipper's body has
Yes.
to talk out loud and talks to Dipper. Like he
Mm.
talks, he uses his vocal
Right,
cords, like
right,
he
right,
is
right.
saying words. And he
Mhm.
literally sits in the car and goes, "Well, who's going to hear you, Dipper, if you don't exist?" And I'm
Oh.
like, you are sitting right next to Wendy. not even whispering, my dude. Like, what the hell? How did
Mhm.
nobody go, "What'd you say?"
What'd you
"Nothing."
say?
Don't worry about it. Like, I sat there going, okay, I could understand if you weren't in the car yet, but then I was like, wait, he's in the car. He is rolling up a window. So I had like a whole moment where I was just like, how did you not? How did you not?
I love that.
Anyway, those are my one more thing.
I'm looking at the trivia for Little Griff Shop of Horrors, and
Yeah.
this is just a treasure trove. So the Man with the Hands of Fate gets called out.
Mhm.
In the original twist ending, the visiting tourist was supposed to be revealed to be director M. Night Shyamalan.
Ha!
Ah,
That's great. Love that.
that's beautiful and dumb. I love that so much. It's
According
a twist.
What a twist. According to Alex Hirsch, Awakenings was a reworked version of a planned episode in season 1 that would have
Not
involved
surprised.
Mabel being overprotective of Waddles,
Mhm.
and Waddles being voiced by John Hamm.
Oh, that would have been good too.
That would have been pretty good.
Everybody
I
in the
would've watched
showers,
it.
we're done.
We're done.
We did it, internet. Good job. I think so. That is a similar episode, I believe, to a Rick and Morty episode
Which one?
where a dog gains like sentience.
Oh, yes. Where are my test? Where am I?
Good job.
Yeah, I just oof. Yeah, Paul just like. I'm trying not to say the T word is the problem, but it lives in my head rent free, and I can't get rid of that word.
I believe it's a snowball episode.
It is the snowball
And
episode.
it's one
like
of
the
my
second episode of the show ever.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite episodes of Rick and Morty. Like I love so many different things about it. But like, you know, obviously that show comes much later, blah blah blah, but like, you know, it has to. Didn't Rick and Morty like not even come on the scene until 2015 or something?
No.
I'm very bad at this game, as you know.
I think
I'll check it real quick.
I believe it was 2013 or 2014.
December 2013.
Oh,
So when was
Oh.
This is exactly about when this was made too. So
mm-hmm. See, it's another one of those moments. I choose to
I'm
believe that
curious.
Gravity Falls just exists in a liminal
Oh.
space.
Yeah, Little Gift Shop of Horrors aired almost a year after.
yeah, And also Alex Hirsch and Justin Roiland are friends. And Justin Roiland has done a bunch of voices on this show too. So
Yeah. I'm not surprised. Oh no, I forgot one more thing. I'm sorry, Danielle. You need to say your thing.
I don't really I feel like we talked about most of the fun parts of the episode. Like if we've talked about all of the Waddles moments, then I no longer have a one more thing. Because my one more thing is always about Waddles.
It's always about Waddles.
Like I guess we didn't say that the little bit of the third episode that's about Waddles ends with the fact that Waddles just has this really sweet friendship montage where he's reflecting back on his favorite memories with Mabel and is like, wait, but what is life worth if not this?
If I don't have my bestie.
I love that. I
love that we also got to have, talking about the hand witch one last time. I love that we got to have Dan Povenmire, who also voices Doofenshmirtz. And I was just like, yes, he's perfect for this. Built for this.
What is he playing it?
I'm pretty sure he's the voice of the hand witch. Is he not?
Matt Chapman.
Really? Doing a very good Doofenshmirtz impression then. Because I would have bet money. 1,000%.
Had you fooled?
Yeah. I can 100% hear the witch going, then I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
God, I have to this day still never seen any Phineas and Ferb. But
you would really like it.
It's been on my list for a very long time. But the Doofenshmirtz 2 nickels meme is just the best shorthand.
Doofenshmirtz is arguably my favorite character in the whole thing. Doofenshmirtz and Perry the Platypus, for me, are the Aziraphale and Crowley of that show.
Oh, I love that. See, the thing is, I haven't seen Phineas and Ferb either. The only reason I was aware of that reference is because I've just seen the GIF a billion times. Yeah.
You've seen the meme.
I've seen the meme.
I mean, my favorite thing, and maybe it fits to end on this. One of my favorite Doofenshmirtz moments is there's a movie, spoilers, where we meet an alternate version of everyone. We go to an alternate reality of Phineas and Ferb, and we meet an alternate Doofenshmirtz. Basically, Doofenshmirtz is always plotting to take over the world, and in this reality, he has. The only difference between their Doofenshmirtz and our Doofenshmirtz is their Doofenshmirtz had a toy choo-choo train that was taken from him, and then he decided to dismantle society completely and replace it with his own. Our Doofenshmirtz, the running joke about our Doofenshmirtz is every possible terrible thing has happened to ours. Like he was raised by wolves. Like he has no parents. Like he was literally like starving child Oliver. Like every single one of his family members died. Like he has so much trauma and he can never actually achieve his goals. They're always thwarted. And I just love that he meets his evil self and he's like, that was it? That was it? And he starts listing all the terrible things that happened to him. And he's like, I don't know, ma'am, but you didn't have a choo-choo train. I don't know. I'm saying.
Joy, the trivia for Gift Shop of Horrors.
Yes.
The fiery orb, which Stan takes from the unnamed traveler before the first story, is a palantir from The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. It's literally just a flaming eyeball.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what else to...
You clocked it.
I don't know what else I could possibly think it is. And on that note...
On that note, Jill, would you like to share all the things?
Yeah. I can be found at Jill Friedman on YouTube. So there's that. And on Blue Sky and TikTok, I am Mix Labradorite. MXLABRADORITE. Look me up. Look forward to seeing you.
Yeah. All right. And
take off your shoes before you come in the house.
If you're looking
for
more,
wipe your feet on the mat.
Yes. I mean, if you're going to do that, just take off your shoes. It's less work. Then we don't have to clean the mat. Okay, if you're looking for more Binge O'Clock, you can check us out on Twitter and Facebook, where you can weigh in. Is it Jiffany or Giffany? You can also email us at bingeoclockpod@gmail.com. And don't forget, we have a Patreon. Find us at patreon.com/bokpod.
That's right. And tell your friends, tell your family, tell your loved ones, tell the live lobsters in your life about Binge O'Clock, and we will see you next time.